Traders, good morning. What is up, guys? I hope you're excited, man. Today is non-farm payroll and unemployment. These are two big economic events that come out every single month that gives us some proper and strong insight into what the Fed's next decision is going to be. Is it going to help support the hike, right? If we see rate hikes, guess what's going to happen? We're going to see stocks fall. We're going to see gold fail. Things are going to go back in that bearish direction that we've been in for the past month or two. Now, if it does come out on a better stance, it tells the Fed you don't have to hike rates. That starts to ease and markets start to price in no more rate hike. Guess what? Markets are always pricing in. Now we're going to see the pricing in. Instead of being the ones that say after the fact, oh, markets priced that in already. We're watching it price it in. That's how we stay ahead using markets. So guys, if you're ready to make some money today, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Market in the Morning starts right now. Yo, good morning, guys. Abdullah, good morning. Yusuf, hello. What is up? Good morning, everybody. Yes, Nalab is going to be joining us very soon. Sands, good morning. Luke, what's up, Luke? Good to see you. Jennifer, good morning. Mary, good morning. Uncle Banks, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? Melvin, hello. Gershwin, good morning. Beth, good morning. Tomas, hello. What's up, guys? Tazzy, hello. We got full house, guys, packing it in. That's what I like to see. Ooh, right off the bat, that is beautiful. You guys are amazing, just as amazing as we are. Nalab's going to be joining us soon. Guys, we're getting ready for NFP today, baby. We're going to get some volatility. It's going to give us some insight. Even if it falls on track, I am expecting a little bit of extra volatility to step in, even if that's just volume entering the market. This is a heavily weighted and anticipated event. So let's prepare for it right now with market, guys. Guys, good morning. Elsa, good morning. Noku, hello. Dr. G, Angela, hello, everybody. Katie, what's going on? Good morning, guys. Let's prepare. Non-farm payroll, 8:30. We have T-minus 7 minutes. Bank forecast 80K, prior 57,000, minimum is 10,000, maximum is 140. First off, they're giving it a crazy range. They're giving it a range of 130,000. So the odds of us falling all the way out of this range, they try to really make it difficult with this minimum and maximum reading. But the further and closer we are to one of these sides, whether it's minimum being 10,000, 20,000, or maximum 140,000, 120,000, that's when we're going to see the momentum. If we get right on bank forecast, we do have to expect a bit more of a range. So guys, man, run that like button up. What a beautiful start to market in the morning. This is how it should be every morning, guys. That is fantastic. Let's set up some charts, see how markets are going to react. So right now, non-farm payroll, key input for central bank rate decisions. We know that. Just told you guys that. High impact released often moves currencies on surprise. So higher than expected is going to be very bearish. Lower than expected is going to be very bullish. A higher than expected reading signals economic strength, but is typically bullish for currencies. A lower reading suggests weakness, putting pressure. Let's ask market. Ready? How can we prepare for NFP when trading the ES today? Boom, it's going to give us that breakdown. How can we prepare for NFP when we're trading the ES today? Let's light it up, guys. Good morning, everybody. Guys, fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. Let's kill it. Let's end the week off with a bang, too, because, we've been on a win streak lately, been playing ES and NQ like fiddles. We've been using market to understand the dynamics. Now we got to use that follow-through. Good morning, everybody. Andrea, Christina, Deidre, hello. What do we got? The whole HTL community in here? That's awesome. So how to prepare a strong beat. Bearish for the ES via higher rate hike odds. So if they beat it, if it's higher than expected, that is more bearish. We want to be very careful. Oh, we have the one and only Mel in here too. Hello, Mel. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. That's fantastic. One love, everybody. Appreciate you all for being here. Smash the like button. We got 4 minutes left before we have the actual release. So let's wrap this up really quick so we're prepared. In line, chop inside the current range, 76.45, 78.25. Look how cool this is, guys. It gives you the price levels to watch. It gives you the range. It gives you an idea. Weak miss, bullish for ES via easing hopes tailwind, yield falls, and lower discount rates. So keep an eye on that. And again, it lifts it towards 78.25, giving you those levels to watch. It needs oil and Hormuz headlines to stay calm, or the inflation offsets the rally. So be careful in that, right? We always know that there's something called the distraction tactic we've been seeing in this economy, where if something bad comes out of nowhere, there's another headline about something else, the whole distraction tactic. So we could see how this report comes out and then see if there are any headlines following about Trump. We're going to attack Iran harder than ever. We're going to A, B, and C. We want access to the strait. We want this, whatever the case may be. Or on the flip side of that, if this comes out in a more Fed hike perspective, where it comes out as a strong beat and Trump doesn't want to look bad, or whatever the case may be, he might come out and say, peace deals are in our favor. We're going to meet with them this weekend. So again, everything comes full circle. Somebody's asked before, what's more important, a Trump headline or a big event? They're both important because they both have that domino effect onto the market and the economy, right? Because guess what? We're bombing Iran. That's going to have an impact on oil supply, which brings our price higher. So what's our bias on gold? Let's check it out. Right now, gold's biased, but remember, NFP in 3 minutes now can change that bias. That's how strong this report is right now. If you guys want, let's do real quick. We still have 3 minutes left. Let's ask market. We're gonna hit the microphone. Oh. What is our bias for gold today? Let's see. Guys, good morning. Good morning, Karen. What's going on? Burke, hello. You know, John, we'd like to think so, but sometimes it does. If it has an impact on a situational or an event, right? Again, the US and Iran war is why oil prices got so high. But not every headline is moving markets like it used to. Before, when we got a headline about a ceasefire or peace deal, we would rally. Now, if we get it, markets sort of just chop. They don't take it into that strong of consideration. Gold is bullish, a bit overbought at 43.26. US Iran premium and safe haven demand are holding at near record. It's not near record highs. Targeting 4,400. Watch high yields, and let's prepare for NFP, guys. We got 1 minute left for that. High real yields. So it's really, at this point, what matters is how NFP comes out. So let's check out NFP. Let's check out some of the charts real quick. This is my ES chart very quickly. ES above 7,700, we're going to rally towards this 78.20. ES, NASDAQ, if we do start to rally above, I'd say 29,850, we're going to make our way towards that 30,000. If we drop, I'd want to see us below 30,450 and head towards previous day low, which is over here now at 29,241. GC, we'll look at XAU USD for you guys. I know there's a bit more Forex traders in here. Beautiful. Gold's on a beautiful bullish rally right now. So keep an eye. We have non-farm payroll right now, guys. Let's check it out. Boom. Look at that timing. W's right there. I think it's as expected. Whew, let's see. Oh, wow. Way lower than expected. That is bullish for the market, guys. Bulls, bulls, bulls right there. That's wild. Let's check it out. See what's going on in the charts. There's that gold push right through. Beautiful rally. Take a look at NASDAQ, ES. These assets are going to be rallying right now. Nice move on NQ. Take a look at ES. Turn off that indicator. Beautiful pump on ES off the reaction. Just wait. Don't buy these highs. Last thing we want to do is just buy a random high, and then it either, yes, it continues, it creates bad habits, or it drops, and what do we do with ourselves, right? So be careful. Let the move start to play. Let it breathe, and then we take the follow through, right? So let's check those headlines. Market headlines are going crazy right now. Yeah, dollar's probably plummeting if gold's popping, correct? U.S. average hourly earnings in July rise 0.1%. Trailing estimates of 0.3%. Okay, nothing major on that one. U.S. unemployment, Where'd that go? Unemployment rate falls to 4.1%, beating 4.2% forecast. This is great. This is great. We have our direction for the day, guys. This is a trend day. You heard it here first. Like the button, subscribe, join every day, 8:20 to 10:30. We are going to have a trend day today because we had such a strong non-farm payroll beating outside of the forecast of the minimum. Unemployment also was lower than expected. I do want to make sure. Oh no. Okay. We do want to be a little careful on that aspect as unemployment is giving us a more bearish signal. So this is what's considered mixed events, right? So mixed data where one suggests very bearish for the ES and NQ and most possibly gold, and the other says, where is it? There it is right there. Non-farm payroll. The other says bullish. So we did get mixed data. Be a little careful. And yeah, not one-sided data. Exactly. So just be careful. We do want to let it play out. That's why we use our terminal like MRKT. This is the area I would like to see ES be our sort of make or break point. So between 77.70 and 77.77, some nice numbers right there. Lucky sevens on our lucky Friday today, guys. We're going to make some money. Let's see if that works as our range high. Are you giving gold direction? Yeah, we could go over gold real quick as well. Always happy to go over whatever. So take a look, right? That dollar's falling. Now, dollar's going to give us some stronger insight in this trend too. Because we got mixed news, if the dollar can hold with strength, I'm going to be looking for gold to be holding with strength too. Yeah, let's go gold. Absolute rally right there. Guys, this is as expected. This is what Nalab covered yesterday in market in the morning. Easy 5 bills. There we go, Brody. Let's run it up, man. That's what I'm talking about. Great. Look at this. This area that was resistance on gold, right? Recently. Broke it. Used it as support. Even off this for the NFP move. Massive move off 43.60 towards 44.20. I'm going to put, and again, this is the dollar on the right-hand side, guys. So we have gold. We have the dollar. My other chart, we have ES. I do have NQ over here as well. Take a look at NASDAQ. Also running into some resistance at this point. Right up here. Right? This is where sellers were able to step in on Wednesday. Price pushed lower. This is the first time we're retesting this area. Haley, I got you. I must have read your mind. We're on NASDAQ right now. Let me turn off this indicator for a moment. It's something I'm trying to customize for those support and resistance areas. Same ones I find. But you see that? It did mark out the same exact one I was looking for. So it's a solid 30. This is my make or break point on NASDAQ, and it also lines up with a key psychological level, 29,800. So 29,800, again, line in the sand for NASDAQ for me to say, yeah, if we remain below 29,800, I'm going to look for those bears to bring us back to the range. If we get back above it, I'm looking for a retest to go long. So bearish below. Right? Give us some insight. Do your pre-market analysis. Guys, what you're seeing me do here today and every day is what you should be doing on your own as well. You should be giving yourself 10 to 15 minutes, even 5 minutes before you trade your session to go over the charts, look at a higher time frame, maybe update your previous day high, previous day low, make sure you're on the right side of the market. Previous day high is right over here. And look at that previous day high level. Where's that line up with? Another key level that I had from yesterday. Great. Perfect. So that's our previous day high. That's our previous day low. We've already broken previous day high. So again, the NFP has a bit more strength than the unemployment. However, it was still mixed data. So be careful there. Want to watch how that plays out. Awesome, guys. This is crazy. What a move. And we're going to set up for some nice trades today too. S&P balanced. Breaking news, let's see, dollar yen expands fall last down 0.7%. Fed rate hike expectations for 2026 trimmed by traders. Let's hit the explain icon here. Let's have it break it down for us. And guys, if you don't have MRKT yet, get access to it today. MRKT Edge.ai. There used to be a time when you needed something like a Bloomberg terminal or you needed to watch CNBC for hours to get valid information, or you'd have to research it, Google it on your own, take 20, 30, 40 minutes to do that. And guess what? When you Google things, you're getting people's opinions. When you're using a tool like MRKT, first off, It's not 25 or 30,000 a year like Bloomberg Terminal is, and it gives you 99% of the same information of what you actually need to know. The breaking news headlines, instant headlines when they come out, the economic data, how to prepare for the economic data. Yeah, Bloomberg who, man? You guys gotta, if you post market, hashtag Bloomberg who, hashtag market, and add us wherever on Twitter, I was gonna say on Twitter and on X, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on your story, wherever. We will make sure to repost it. So go show some love to market. We do these streams every single day for you guys. Yeah, no hallucinations. Exactly. We're not giving you guys. MRKT isn't saying trimmed by traders because, and then some wrong information. That's what I was talking about before. When you Google things, when you even use ChatGPT for this type of information, it's because it's a search engine, it's going to find people's opinions. We do not want opinions in the market. We want nothing but facts. Risk off for bonds and the dollar with a mild boost to rate-sensitive equities. Traders trimming 2026 hike expectations, signaling the market is leaning towards restrictive Fed policy. It looks like the S&P and NASDAQ are trying to continue here too. Take a look. There's NASDAQ, S&P. That's why you don't buy the high. Look for some type of pullback. But remember, we are looking for that trend. I said we're looking for a trend today. You want to be a little careful with the unemployment situation. However, trade it level by level and trade it with your fundamentals. Well, guess what? The S&P 500 over here. Let's update our previous day high, previous day low levels. Get rid of these as well. Previous day low, previous day high. Mark that out. Perfect. Guess what? We've already broken previous day high. We scale above this area, which has worked as resistance a few times over the past few days. I want to see us above it with NFP, right? So here we go, our fundamentals aligning with our technicals to give us that area to go long on the S&P 500. Beautiful. That's fantastic. That is what I'm looking for. If we don't break that, then guess what? Again, I'm taking that fundamental analysis, which was, yes, NFP was more bullish, but unemployment was mixed out and made us slightly bearish. We want to see if we hold this level that all those people that were chasing these highs end up trapped and we reverse back towards the bottom of the range. So guess what? I made a trade setup and you guys should be doing the same thing where you're waiting for scenarios. If this, then this. If we don't get that, then I'm not taking a random long position here, knowing that I might be the one trapped at the high. So be patient, create trade setups that require extra patience. Mel, if you're here, you see this? We got the 50 EMA on there for you. The signature HTL trade setup. Love it. So S&P levels, NASDAQ levels. NASDAQ, look at that, trying to get towards that 29,800. This is beautiful, guys. Absolutely phenomenal. Great moves. That's what we want to see. Good trend today. This is going to be hopefully a nice trending day. What I'd like to see is a pullback before New York session opens to find us a level to entry. There goes ES continuing. Nothing but pure buying going on right now. This is, yes, bullish on the markets. Dollar continuing lower. Gold continuing higher, guys. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see. You can take a look at oil. Don't forget, guys, I tell you guys, don't forget to look at oil because it is such a big mover of these markets. And not just because it's not like, oh, well, the market inverses oil, gold inverses oil. No, oil is what's pressuring inflation right now, which is giving us the domino effect of higher inflation, right? So I'm sorry, oil's pressuring gas prices, oil prices, big tech companies. They have to spend more. You have to pay more because they make customer prices more expensive to cover that spending more. And that's what adds to the inflation. So oil trying to push back lower again, back at the bottom of the range here, really not out of the water yet, we should say. My broker has been frozen for 10 minutes since NFP. Bro, sometimes they do that, man. Sometimes they do that. And I think they obviously do that because of NFP, right? They don't want traders full porting. They don't want to get margin calls, right? They don't want these extra issues. Yo, guys, if you're new here on Twitter, new here on Instagram, new here on YouTube, guys, have some fun with it. Smash that like button. Join me every single day. It's either me in the lab, me and Imri, me and Seb, always bringing somebody fun on. Me and Mel, it's always fun. Josh, we had Josh on last week. Always fun, man. I like to bring you guys a fun show, but not just fun. informative, educational, and actionable insights that you guys can use every single day. What streaming software to use? This is great. This is was a StreamYard. This is StreamYard that we use. I could put myself over here. I could put myself over there. Put myself over here. Here we go. There we go. Bouncing around. Awesome. Been long in NQ since beginning of London sesh. Oh my goodness. Mel's long NASDAQ since beginning of London. That is right over here. She's been long nice off of that the 50 EMA retest. Is that the trade you took? Very nice. Or you probably took it maybe after, what do you do? 3-bar price action? 3 green after the EMA? But very clean. Look at that. Talk about catching the move. 250 points on the NASDAQ right there. ES pulling back towards some levels. Yeah, boy. There we go, Mel. W's in the chat. That is fantastic. Awesome, guys. We got Nalab joining us in 5 minutes. That is wonderful. We're going to get his insights. He's probably going to tell us how he has been long on gold since the sky was born. No, but he was long on gold since yesterday and gave us the insight that NFP is going to help us go bullish. So I'm sure he's been long on some gold, taking some money. Now, Mel doesn't know what a 1-to-1 is. Mel is, the queen. She kills it. Kills it. Absolutely love to see it. Now, I will say VIX is moving higher. VIX, however, measures options. It is still pre-market. And don't forget, too, just because it measures options and it's supposed to be inverse doesn't mean it is identical and always inverse. We had the S&P 500 at all-time highs just the other day. When we were rallying this whole move up, our VIX was also moving higher. And what that tells us is there's a lot more active options activity, and most likely those hedge funds are hedging against this big bull move, which obviously protected them for the pullback. But it does seem, look at this, when in doubt, zoom out. If you're stuck on a 5-minute here, you're looking at this chart going, oh, we're pulling back, great, but we're at resistance. But if you zoom out even more, oh no, we were just at all-time highs. So wouldn't we want to continue to look for those all-time highs, follow that trend, especially because we just had an economic event that is supporting this bias? Awesome, guys. Beautiful. Yo, Mel, I hope you're doing good. I know you weren't feeling too well. Big shout out to Mel and her community. HTL, her trader lounge. Absolutely wonderful. Let's take a look at our market terminal. See if anything new has come out news-wise. We can also take a look at our rates and central banks. Look at this. Fed decision in September. No change, 61%. If you guys join me from Monday to Wednesday to yesterday to today, you would have seen this go from 45% for no change, which means it was like a 50% chance of a hike, to boom, it was 50% chance no change, then 55, now it's 61. The chances of the Fed holding are higher and higher after all these reports are coming out lately since the ceasefire, because oil came down so low, things started to cool down. So again, hopefully we can stay steady and stay on this path, because at this point, we need that turning point in the market to continue this bull run. We have to remember, too, as long as big companies, Microsoft, Meta, not so much Meta, but Microsoft, Amazon with their AWS, as long as they're printing from the whole AI situation, NVIDIA too, these big investment firms are going to continue to milk that profit. So keep that in mind. Markets are looking for more reasons to be bullish, and this is another reason to be bullish. The odds of that rate hike starting to fall. That's massive, guys. Huge. Guys, if you haven't already, smash that like button. I don't even know what we're at, but run it up. Let's hit 100 today. You guys are fantastic. Great audience. I'm checking right now, so it better be high. There we go. All right. Guys, we could definitely run that to 100 likes. Show some love there. Don't forget, guys, bias on ES right now. Long. NASDAQ has breached that 29,800 level. Looks like it is trying to make its way towards 30,000. That is 200 points away on NQ. Gold, continuing the trend. Dollar continuing lower. Now, I mentioned, guys, if you join me here for Market in the Morning, I mentioned, oh, look, gold's below 100 again, this yellow area. When gold was below this yellow area for this entire time, guess what I'm sorry, when the dollar was below this area this entire time, guess what gold was doing? Gold was making all-time highs nearly this entire year. What happened? Kept pushing higher, higher. It breached up. Gold, this is when gold started getting weaker, when it couldn't make these lows anymore. This was gold's all-time high down here. It reversed, pulled back. Gold still bearish, bearish, bearish. We're back in the buy zone for gold, in my opinion, off of the dollar. And we're seeing that be supported by these interest rate decisions, right? By the odds, by the economic data. So this is huge. Just got another headline. Let's see. Yen jumps against dollar on weak U.S. jobs data. Okay. Japan yen surges after U.S. jobs data. Okay, that's also positive for the yen. That's a good thing too, right? We don't want to just look at an economic or a geopolitical. We want to look at how it impacts everything. Everything. We're looking at the financial markets, the economy, different economies, the USD, which is again traded everywhere. Very important we stay up to date with a lot of these things. Mel Howard. 15 minutes in, broker still frozen. Can't manage position. Are you on a prop firm? Are you on your own account? I would definitely recommend, and this is going to sound silly, but did you try closing it and reopening it again? ES trying to hold, NASDAQ trying to hold. Guys, I'm a huge fan of equities, right? When you're trading big tech and you're trading NASDAQ, you're trading the S&P 500. You want to be aware of where equities are trading. Meta right now is right at the price from closing from yesterday. So is Google. Nvidia had a gap up. Microsoft had a gap down. Apple's right where it's at, and Amazon gaps up. So not too bearish because we only have one that's slightly gaps lower, still within its previous day's range. A couple bullish, but pretty range bound on our equities. They didn't give us the biggest reaction just yet. So hopefully what we can get is some type of pullback to an area of interest, to a low volume shelf, whatever the case may be. Right now, this would be our low volume area, or this one right over here. Falls right over here. And we're going to make that the box. You guys remember the box, that song? It's funny. There or there. So we'll keep an eye on those two levels. On the ES. NASDAQ, we could find those same areas. NASDAQ storming away. Good strength on NQ right there. Guys, non-farm payroll, markets are loving it. That's what I said. Watch for that trend day now. And since then, we're up another 100 points on NQ almost. So now what I'd like to see on NASDAQ using this volume profile is price start to chop and range a bit here. So the volume profile starts to pick up more. So we get heavier volume here. And this spot becomes our low volume shelf. And I'd like to see a pullback towards, that is 29,712 towards 29,670. So that's the area I'd possibly like to look for some longs on NASDAQ today, guys. But look at that. Buyers are moving higher and higher. If this strength just continues, we're going to be looking for some scalps and quick trades to the upside. Kevin, when are you joining us in HTL? Yo, when Mel sends that invite, I'll be there. There was going to be a surprise, but we'll get that going too. Let's see. It's a live account. Restarted my phone, airplane mode on and off, tried everything. That's crazy. Do you have, obviously you've mentioned your phone. Do you have like a laptop or computer anywhere that you could try to sign in from? Is it Tradeovate? Kevin, awesome guys. Vantage Markets, first time experiencing this. Gone to web to close. It logs me out. Surely, we'll see. They could always say it was a technical issue. But guys, that was a wild reaction. And like I said before, we are going to be bringing on the one and only Mr. Nalab, so he can tell you guys and show you guys that great gold long that he most likely caught. Nil, what's going on, brother?
Man, I wish I was holding it, but I closed at 4,300 overnight.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go into it, bro. What a
Share your
beautiful
screen.
play. Yeah, I'm about to share it. Sorry, I'm late. I was in a high stakes meeting. Lots
Oh,
of cool
shoot.
stuff happening around the corner. Lots of partnerships that we're doing with some big, big, big organizations,
Nice.
media companies. Lots coming, man. Lots coming.
Let's go.
But guys, exactly like yesterday, what did we talk about, right? We took this buy. I got a break even on this because remember I told you guys I was holding till 4,300, but I got my re-entry and I got my re-entry right over here, even better than my previous entry My previous one was at 35 and 38 from yesterday's stream, right? That played out for about 400 pips, but I round tripped it. I completely round tripped it because I said I was going to hold it till 4,300, and I ended up doing that. I took the buy here, okay? I took the buy here, and I'm pushing now towards the upside. So I closed the position automatically with a take profit at 4,300, fill of that range, and now NFP is just pushed into here. I do think gold will get that corrective phase, whether that happens today, tomorrow, whether it happens today, Monday, Sunday, market open, we're going to get that corrective structure and phase. Now, when I'm looking at just a higher time frame clear chart of gold that I have marked up right over here, I can see everything that has happened over the past few days is we've had a massive break towards the upside. We talked about it. Once this breakout comes, it's going to rally. And what did it do? Gold has been rallying, right? Very easy. We took the pullback buys. I even said, guys, I took a big loss, bigger loss than most of you guys took forever, like ever. I'm down 17, 16-ish grand in the start of the quarter, okay? We're in recovery mode right now. Trust me, I'm going to end this quarter on a bang. So in full transparency, but what we have been doing is now that we're out of this range, I'm more confident in these buys and I'm amped and I'm going to run this up. So going back to this, we took those buys right here in Asian session. And this is what's funny. In Asian session, by Asian session, I had moved these to break even. I was like, okay, if we push down, maybe we'll push a bit deeper before NFP. But the markets didn't care. The markets didn't even almost came to my stop loss. I was about 10 pips away and then continued to push up. It was a slow grind overnight. But once this double bottom happened, it was pretty clear that we were going to at least go back up to 4,300. Very clean structure that's printing right now. And now we had NFP take place. Now, jobs data came out surprisingly and minus 23K for NFP. This is outside expected range, so higher volatility is likely here because it's outside the minimum, which was 10K. And we talked about what a big deviation there is from the minimum and forecast, plus the forecast and maximum, right? It swings both ways, but even here now, this is what the jobs number ran from, right? What the markets took. Unemployment rate went down, NFP went down. This is mixed jobs data here because unemployment rate went down, right? That's good for the economy. It's good. This also means that Fed can keep conditions tighter for higher for longer. But NFP dropped massively. That's the shock here, is that NFP dropped massively. And this is where the markets are going to take it a bit more of a mixed reading, and we're not going to get that clean one-sided volatility. Where what I mean by that is gold may start topping off here if we're unable to push towards the upside. But if we do and we continue above 43.75, then you know the markets are really eating up the minus 23,000 jobs. That's what the main focus is for the market at that point. And this is just like here, okay? Now, minus 23K is very bullish for gold, okay? And that's what the reaction we saw right here. Massive bullish reaction. We've continued. I took these scalp buys, but I closed it right at 70 over here before I hopped in the stream. So it's a quick reaction for me. And the reason it was quick and I don't have much expectations for this sort of move is because of where we currently are sitting on the daily time frame and on the higher time frame. We are just about to tap into this liquidity area and we are actively sitting right in it. So if we are going to get some sort of corrective structure, it can most likely occur from here, especially 43.75 being a psychological level, or maybe pushing a little bit higher and then coming back, snapping into the range. But we are due for a pullback. I was prepping for NFP using Ask Market right before NFP, and we were just looking at dollar and how I can attack here. And you can see, like, I can go here, switch, and see where my report would land. So if I go to the dashboard, you can see there is a bit of a reversal risk because gold has just been rallying. Reversal risk, or even just a quite corrective fan. What do I mean by that? Is a correction. Is that if we push up maybe into here, we could correct down to here, would be a solid area for next week. Even deeper into this range would be fantastic. And now what this ends up looking like is just a regular pullback on the intraday time frame that's set up where sellers are able to drive price down, where buyers get the better price and start entering those longs for the coming week, because we also have CPI next week, right? I think CPI is next week, guys.
I believe so.
Yeah, so we have CPI right over here. Now, we have the forecast for CPI that it's going to be lower.
Yeah.
And if we have this forecast, if CPI comes low, the markets are going to eat it up as rate cut bets being priced in, right? So what I would like to see for that is for us to get a corrective phase from here or somewhere here, whether that's we push up a bit or somewhere here, we get a corrective phase. We push down for CPI or before CPI, we set up, whether that's from here, right? We start setting up prior to CPI, position ourselves, or whether we push down lower at the start of the week and set up from different buy areas, such as the retest of this range highs is like a good one right here, right? And we're just gonna take these levels as they come, okay? We're not here to judge and be like, oh, we're definitely going to reverse from this level. This is where you watch the lower time frames. Just like how yesterday I told you guys that I was going to look for buys near the 25s, and then I took it at 35 and 38 because the market was rejecting. It's the same sort of principle, is that we just watch where the market could go to right now. Now, again, I want to see how we react to 50s. If we close below 50s, we'll see how we take this, but the market could just be setting up for something like this, right? But this is where I want to be careful, because if we double top here, that's going to be that corrective sell-off, in my opinion. That's going to be that corrective sell-off. But we could get a quick buy reaction from here. So you want to be careful of this. That's why I'm saying we're a bit more not full attack mode, because we got conflicting labor market data with bad NFP, but good unemployment rate. Unemployment rate went down, but it was good, right? If I click this, shit, man, this is bullish for dollar. Shit, this is bearish for dollar. Mix. So that's what we have to watch out for, is that the market may do something like this where we react here, push up back to these highs, buyers exit, sellers re-enter, because we're at this key area from FOMC in June. Remember that? We were taking sells here live, and now we're back up to those price points. That entire hawkishness is being priced out because of bad jobs data, because of lower inflation data, because of the war coming down. Now, do you see how we're correcting this entire price? Exactly how we talked about all the way from here, right? Now, so we could push down to any of these levels before we see that change in that structure, right? And that's where we're even getting that reaction over here where sellers, you can see there are sellers sitting up here and buyers are taking profit, because now gold has pushed up from the start of the week till now about almost 3,500 pips, $350 move on gold towards the upside. That's a near 10%, almost 9% increase in the price of gold this week. Okay, so expecting a pullback is not out of the ordinary. Last time we rejected this was on FOMC, this price point, big catalyst that drove us straight down to this level, right down to here. And then we had a correction where we sold off after that using that same sentiment. Now, our sentiment right now is bullish. So what we are looking for is, I'm not looking to call out sells here and say, oh, we're going to sell off to here. I'm just looking for buys. But I'm more cautious about where we can really take some buyers can take profit for end of the week, right? Which happens to be this current area that's where you can see price sensitivity and activity happening, where buyers are exiting here. I'm one of those buyers. Kevin is probably one of those buyers. Sellers are entering here, but we don't want to dictate when the gold top is happening this week. It could just as well continue above 43.75, and in that case, what we'd want to watch is how we react to these highs at 80s, because remember, that's the FOMC high, right? Like right at FOMC, that's the high right there. So we want to react see how we react at 82. Market has 43.84 as the key level. Okay, so once we see how we react there, then we can basically have more information on whether we're going to pull back or start a corrective phase. If we start that corrective phase, that's when I'm like, perfect. Now we get to have some fun, because we get to position ourselves for next week. Now, where can price come down? Price could come down to any one of these key areas. And that would just be absolutely beautiful, because the lower it goes, the better the range for us towards the upside. So again, going into this session, I don't have any expectations, because this move, this entire week, has been playing out flawlessly. All you have to do was buy above every key level as soon as you started breaking out of this range and this, and that was it. That was the bottom. So now that we have this correction, I'm not someone who's in a rush to try to sell this because or short this, because I know that the better trade for me and the one that I will operate the best on are those pullback buys that could take place from any of these key areas. We've had a break of structure, like you can say we had a break of structure right here, right? We had structure that was broken, signifying, okay, buyers are in control, consistently creating higher lows after creating this low here. Okay, we broke this structure, we got a retest, we pushed up. We broke this over here, this high, 4,200 high, perfect. We got a retest right at this level at 42.25, how we were discussing yesterday in Market in the Morning stream. Now, these are very key market structure that we've just powered right through because of the peace catalyst, because of lower oil prices, right? Now, upcoming for next week is US CPI, and that's what the markets are going to start focusing on now. I always say this, there's always one catalyst that the market focuses on. Once that's done, the next one comes into play. So NFP was the catalyst for this week after the peace talks. We focus on NFP. NFP markets ate up the data. We understand what happened. Bit of a mixed data. Doesn't matter. Markets are still, we've already priced that in for the week. That those rate cut bets being priced in, right? And pricing out rate hikes. So any sort of pullback going into next week, end of this week, is perfect because it's just going to set up the markets for CPI. And you'll see what I mean, that if we get this move before CPI and we're pushing down like this, maybe Sunday market open or today we start pushing down, what this is going to do is let us potentially leverage longs going into CPI because CPI is already expected to come lower than forecast. Now, if it comes out lower than the forecast at 3.3 or lower, man, are we going to get a move on the upside on equities, on US, on gold, right? And on any dollar denominated pairs, we're going to get downside, like USD CAD is going to get a complete downside. Euro USD is going to get upside. So because inflation's coming down. Now, I'm the one who told you about this headline. I'm not the one who said inflation is going to come down. Donald Trump did. I just listened to him. Donald Trump on July 14th says, describes inflation report as amazing, sees low inflation trends persisting amid rate decline. He also said, cites inflation report, tells reporter to remember it for midterms. Inflation report was incredible. Thank you for bringing that up. Says pausing rates preferable to heights, sees lower inflation by year end, oil prices seen volatile, vicious for faster tariff deployment. Then he also says that he sees oil prices coming down in the near future. Now, when Donald Trump tells you this, sees inflation trends holding as prices decline, he's talking about those oil prices. Now, when Donald Trump tells you this, don't you think it's going to happen? Every other time he's given you some alpha, we've chased it. We've made money out of it. Now, because of that, I want to see some sort of pullback. If 50s doesn't hold this pullback, we're going to start correcting this move, this NFP move, and potentially cancel a lot of it out. Because of this end of the week rebalancing that we're likely to experience based off of this mixed data. It's not one-sided data, it's mixed data. And that's something we need to keep in mind again. Are you bullish or bearish today? 1 for bullish, 2 for bearish. Guys, today's the day. Today's the day where I'm taking more of a neutral approach. And the reason I'm taking more of a neutral approach is you have to look at where the market's sitting. Gold especially is just sitting at highs. NQ has rallied all week. Yes, we can continue towards the end of the week, continue rallying. But I would just like to see how we position ourselves going into CPI. I think the best trades are going to come next week now because of, look how monstrous this move is. This is a 1,600 pip move in a matter of 12 hours. $160, $150 on gold we pushed up. What more could we want? What do we expect more buys to come today, right? Are we expecting buys to come after a $360 move up on gold this week? It's like we got to really pick and choose where we're entering our trade. Now, if we keep closing below here, below 50s, or if we double top that's potentially where the sellers are going to step in and basically correct this move. They're going to correct this move. This move will get corrected in a phase where it's kind of slow down like this, or pushes up, corrects, maybe takes out these highs a bit, pushes up a bit, and then corrects this play. Because of just where we're sitting right now. We're sitting at this resistance previously. We've had a monstrous rally towards the upside this entire week, nonstop. The only breather gold got was for 6 hours. So 5 days of rallying, 6 hours of rest. It may be a time where gold comes down, or it may not, depending on how 50s holds up here. Again, I'm not looking to buy, I'm not looking to sell going into this session. I'm just looking to be a bit more defensive because I made money this week. I'm focused on what's coming up next week. I know CPI is coming up. I know that next week markets are going to correct. Something's going to happen because, man, gold's just been pushing up. What goes up must come down. It's the same thing as when we're dropping. We didn't get FOMO when markets were sitting at lows here because we knew end of week, start of the next week, we're going to get a correction. And this is a primary example right here. This was NFP. In the stream, we were already positioned from Tuesday and Thursday in sells. And then when NFP came out hot and gold started pushing down, look what ended up happening. We took the sells in stream after the data release, and then market just continued to sell off for the rest of the day. Now, markets closed at a low, at the lows. We completed this range, we broke this range, but we didn't get FOMO going into next week. And look what happened at the start of next week. We bottomed out right at market open, and we started pushing higher. Now, we didn't just continue pushing lower right at the start. We got a pullback, and we got that pullback. That sentiment lasted. We hit a key level, and we continued on Sunday and Monday. And then we ended up ranging until the next catalyst, right? Until the next catalyst, markets were ranging for an entire day right here. Again, you don't want to get chopped up here, right? Ranging for a whole day. We took these on stream. Remember this trade, Kevin? We took this call live on stream right to the point, the minute candle, and that ran 3,000 pips. So again, when sentiment is clean, moves like this happen week over week. Just because we saw a 3,000 pip move this week doesn't mean we can't see it next week. Right? We just need that corrective structure. And that's why we're talking about this right here, is that we could potentially see that just because of where gold is sitting. But the market also just got such a shock of the low jobs number. Yeah. So right now it's just a matter of watching, seeing how the markets digest this data. Again, it's not our job to look at the data and be like, oh yeah, this is the direction. This is for sure the direction. Look at the direction, understand how the potential impact is, and then make sense of how the markets digested. Yep. Markets digested this as bad jobs data, pushed up into this resistance, and right now we've seen a sell-off. We're at a very key area. Now this key area is 43.50. We can either push up from here, potentially see how we react to these highs, maybe a bit higher, and then see a sell-off to close the day. Or if we just continue down, it may be a slow chug, but we should correct a part of this move. So that's just what I'm watching on gold here. Now we can go to NQ and ES. ES, fantastic plays that we were talking about where we got that correction, right? This area didn't hold up. We snapped back above the range, very choppy price action. And again, we are still more range bound, right? This is a nice like order block low where you saw orders come into the market. If we get a nice spike into here, maybe at open or something, Kevin, I think that would be like a good area to long. Or again, any of these lower price points, I'm very interested in as well. Retest of previous highs right here. Also retesting this structure at 76.37s. And then that's what I'm interested in. But I also want to keep in mind that a lot of times when US equities are rallying, you don't get those big pullbacks. You get these smaller consolidation plays and just continuations of the grind, slow and steady towards the upside into price discovery mode. And a great example of that is here, right here. Most recent ones that we had, when that sentiment was so strong off of the peace deal, the 2-week ceasefire, you can see we did mini ranges, gap down, escalations, bought up, mini consolidations, break above, continuation, break above, continuation, break above, continuation, retest, continuation, right? So it's like you don't get those big, massive pullbacks when sentiment is running hot on US equities. So we may not get these deeper pullbacks that we're looking for, right? That maybe go even extend into here without a proper catalyst. And that's where you need a catalyst that goes against the current regime and bias. But even then, that just sets up for price. That just sets up price for institutional buying. Just like how this was, you had sentiment come out bullish because of the FOMC here. Markets corrected the move, got premium buy orders from this level, but the sentiment was still fresh and the market rallied off because this is market mechanics, right? Yeah. Doesn't matter what if the market fades that entire move, that sentiment is still fresh. And then once all the retails were out of those longs and started shorting, guess what? We're at all-time highs. We're at all-time. I remember we talked about this, man, so many times that those all-time highs were going to come so quick once we had that click in that sentiment, right? Now gold here, again, it's looking like it's going to correct this move. And what I want you to keep in mind is how we came to this conclusion of data came out mixed. We know NFP, bad for dollar, good for gold. Good for? Yes. Also good for NQ. Okay. But unemployment rate down? Good for dollar? Oh. Bad for gold? Bad for NQ? It's mixed. It's mixed. The market's priced in that bad jobs data. Okay. But the unemployment rate went down. So this is mixed data. And keep in mind, jobs data will probably get revised next month.
Yeah, no joke.
Right? So yeah, just thinking about it in terms of just what the data came out mixed, where we are sitting on gold after a monstrous rally, to me, this looks like a perfect area for end of week profit taking.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Institutional side, rebalancing of end of week flows, retest down here, pull back wherever we may pull back. Maybe we only pull back to here. The point being is that we are pretty overextended right now going into here. Now, somebody asked me, do I use FIPS for confirmation? Yeah, I do. I love to use FIPS when to align it with levels I'm watching, make sure they align with some Fibonacci levels as well. Like here, this area where I'm watching, perfect, right? 38. Over here as well, nice 61 sitting here, 50s near these highs. And then here's your 76, 78, whatever you use. So you can see how they still line up with our zones. So these are all confluences, right? As long as we're aligned on the bias on the right side, even markets telling you there's a bit of a reversal risk here just because we've pushed up so much this week. And it's similar on NQ and ES as well. It's just because we've been pushing up the entire week. Yes, we have a range towards the upside, and that's what we're watching on NQ, but it's just something to watch out for. Today, I'm being a bit more defensive, just because we have been offensive this entire week. Now, end of the week, we know just how the markets move very rationally. Off of this key zone, we're likely to see a correction here because of the mixed data. Somebody said, what does revised data mean for the market? So it doesn't mean much unless it's like a big surprise. Like let's say this gets revised from minus 23,000 to 100,000 jobs created. That's a pretty big revision, right? And it'll only make a difference if the NFP next time, if this was to get revised, if next month's NFP was like a dud. That's when it really the revision makes a difference. If the revision was a surprise and if the current reporting was a dud, right? So if, let's say this reporting was a dud and last jobs got revised from 57 to minus 23K, that's when you would see the impact of a revision. But always the current information that we are receiving about the headline reading here, which is this reading here, is going to be more impactful than the revision if this is a surprise, okay? So hopefully that clears it up for you guys a bit. And again, guys, so much is coming to market. I hope you guys are using Ask Market. I have a 5-day streak going on right now. Man, the amount of chats I have done just in the past, this is me in the past 3 days, 4 days. So I'm constantly talking. You guys, everybody has 50 chats in a day, and we are working on ways where we can increase that. Let's go. Throw up a thumbs up. We got an app coming very soon in a few weeks. We got alerting coming. We got a free economic calendar coming for all the people who haven't tried market yet. We got so much coming, man. The industry is not ready for it. We got big partnerships. We're going to be on sponsoring big podcasts. Things are looking very, very bright for us. Thank you, Andrea. Yes, we're very excited for alerts. Yes, Jeev is okay. Jeev just got into an accident at night, but he is fine. His car is totaled, but the good thing is that Jeev is fine and he's
Yeah.
doing well. I talked to him earlier today, so he's all good. Of course, like
Good.
after an accident, you can be a little shaken up, right? Like especially
Yeah.
with a major accident. So Jeeves all good. Give him your wishes. Reach out to him if you want. But he's doing good, guys. He's doing good. Don't worry. He's a strong man. So going back to markets, this is what I meant. This move is likely to get corrected because the markets were already pricing in those cuts, and this is the bad jobs data that got priced in here. Now, it wouldn't be a surprise to me if we correct this entire move and continue pushing lower to end the week. Now, keep in mind, this is still 400 pips away from 4,300, where we could most definitely get some sort of buy reaction. Just the point being is that I'm not interested in taking, honestly, anything at the time being on gold. I told you I didn't want to short here because I've constantly iterated the point that I perform way better when the markets are trending, when we are having a pullback and I can align myself with the trend. I know myself, I'm not a good counter trend trader, so I just avoid taking these tops when the trend is a buy or trying to call out these sells over here. I love to call out sells when we're in a bearish trend, right? Like exactly what we did here. I love to do that, or buys when we're in a bullish trend, but I'd rather not be the person trying to guess, oh shit, guys, this is the top of the week.
Yeah.
So absolutely, absolutely. No, is somebody says Jeev? No,
He
Jeev
just
the
got good
goat.
energy.
Yeah, Jeev's the goat. He is a very high
Undefeated.
energy individual because he's passionate about what he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
As are
Hey,
you.
what's up? What's up, my man? The Bakery FX. Everybody, go follow my man. We're gonna do big collabs. Like we got some stuff coming. Next time I'm in England or he's in Toronto, we're gonna do some big collabs. Yeah, man. Charlie's the man. Charlie's the goat.
Hey.
So, guys, again, that's what I'm looking for open. I would love to see us wick down into here, see if we can grab some premium buys from here, ride it up to all-time highs. But again, it's end of week. We had mixed NFP data. Now, doesn't mean that we can't start preparing for next week. No, this is what I'm talking about. If we know inflation is going to go down, don't you think the markets are going to set up for it before inflation, right? Let's say we push down, markets are setting up. By the time inflation is, maybe we're creating a low on gold and markets are pushing up again, just like we did for FOMC. I'm going to look to pre-position myself. I was in those FOMC buys from 404, or it was like 4,000 right on the dot. And by the time FOMC came, we were already 400 pips up because the Fed was largely expected to hold. And this move was priced in. The hawkishness was priced in. So if we start seeing this correction take place now, look at this. Exactly. We called the correction from here. Okay. We said this is where we're correcting from, that we could easily start correcting this move. Now, if we get that correction, start setting up, we know low inflation, if it comes out lower than previous and forecast, and maybe even at minimum or below minimum, this is bullish for gold and bearish for dollar. Bullish for gold, bullish for US equities if it comes out lower. Okay. So that's what we're going to align. If we get that pullback start of the week, I'm going to look for buys because I'm going to set myself up for for CPI, just like we did here. Remember this, dude? We took these CPI buys. I took these on a Monday, and by the time it was CPI Tuesday, we were already up here because CPI was largely expected to drop. Everybody knew it was going to drop, and it just ended up being a surprise. But what I'm telling you is that the markets positioned themselves beforehand because we knew it was going to drop. So there's no reason for gold to be down here if CPI was expected to drop. Now, it's the same principle we need to follow, is that if we get that sort of corrective phase, wherever we get it from, over here, let's say we're sitting here Monday, Tuesday, and gold starts rejecting, I'm going to enter those buys. Maybe by Wednesday morning, we're up here, CPI comes out lower, boom, and we push up, and then it's going to look like it is a pre-positioning by market makers, okay? CPI just mean they will trap early buyers first. Yeah, it all depends on how the markets are positioned going into CPI. You never know how CPI is going to come out, but if the market gives you clues like this in pre-positioning, like here, I can show you 10 different examples of where the market positioned themselves because the data was forecasted to either be a surprise or lower, right? More than forecast. So that's what we're going to watch out for. I'm just reading a few comments here. Got caught trying to chase a counter trend this week. Lesson learned. Fantastic. That's fantastic lesson learned. I think the best thing is that we only learn the hard way, right? Like a lot of
Yep.
times, like I know myself, I made the same mistake like 6 times, and I only really learned when I burn myself. And it's the same thing. Same thing. I think there's the same principle for humans. Like once we're taught the hardest lesson, we're like, oh shit, man, that stings. So I'm very glad you learned that because it's important because now that gold is in such a state to rally towards the upside based off of everything that we've been talking about, right? Now you're gonna know is that when gold is just trending, don't try to go in the opposite way. And again, some people may be good at counter trend trading, but me, I'm not, man. I cannot do it. I completely stress myself out. I'd rather not be in that state. So I'd rather be just the person who's like, hey, this looks like a good buy area, so I'm just gonna buy with the trend, right?
Yep.
And then we go again. Exactly, exactly.
Know your strengths and weaknesses. Not everybody's the same.
Exactly. Not everybody's the same, right? Not sometimes you're gonna perform fantastic, and other times you're gonna make mistakes. You're like, shit, I thought I was over this mistake. But it's new levels, new devils, right?
Yep.
Certain things that sometimes mistakes that I made 5 years ago come up this year, and I'm like, how did that happen? Like, how did I do the same thing I did 5 years ago? It's like, dude, you hit a new level. There's gonna be new devils on your shoulder. You're gonna make some psychological mistakes, but it's all about picking yourself up, back at the drawing board. Where did I go wrong? How can I learn from this? How can we not make this mistake next week or the following week? And sometimes that just means taking time off, doing something else, focusing on other things, not even looking at the markets for a day or a few days or a week, right? Like I remember one of the best sleeps I've had in the past 3 years was last year after a $30,000 loss in a day. I slept for 11 hours, man. I have probably never felt that rested in my life, but it was literally because I was awake for 48 hours trading, and that was a recipe for disaster. So, point being, lesson learned. Never doing that again. Never letting myself go that deep and blacking out to the point where I just lose 30K in a day. So, that's where hard lessons are learned the hard way, right?
Yep. Yep.
So,
We're all gonna go through them.
you gotta go through it. So, again, going into NYSE, if we can get a pullback into these lows, these range lows, I would love to see buys to end the week. If we get a correction to drive into deeper prices, fine with that because I'll just position myself going into next week after that corrective phase is over, whether that's 76.90s, 76.30s, retests of these highs, previous all-time highs, whatever it is. But keep in mind, we're in the regime. We're in buys for equities. That means buys on NASDAQ, buys on ES, buys on gold, sells on dollar, and buys on BTC. So buying risk assets, we're buying gold, we're buying silver, we're selling anything dollar right now. Okay? Excuse me. So that's why our current regime is like this. We're out of that range. Look at the where we are now. This is that FOMC move that we were talking about. And I know there's a few people here from HTL, and this was like one of the first times we did that webinar talking about how the Fed was hawkish, but we could eventually come to a stop as we approach this area because the regime is likely to change as oil prices continue to trickle their way down, because that's what Trump said he was going to do. He was going to bring inflation down. He's going to bring oil down before midterms. The man said it, and that's what he did. This escalation, complete price manipulation. Once we got up to here, we mentioned on market in the morning, guys, if we can't make it past here, expect some de-escalation. And that we got. Every gap down was a de-escalation. Gap down, market open because of peace talks, and the trend has continued. So now, exactly as we drew over here, if we get this down here, now, yes, absolutely. We'll do that right now. US 30, I don't have a chart up for it, but we can quickly map that out. Again, it's the same macro environment, right? What I'm seeing right now is that we broke out of these highs. Amazing. So let's mark this up. I have a solid zone here that I can target, right? Where I can see buyers jump in anywhere here. We've had previous areas of liquidity. These are the range lows that got printed post FOMC. Here's a little zone here too. And I'll do full technical analysis because we've just went over the fundamentals already, okay? What I'm seeing right now is after a massive rally since last Thursday. Keep in mind, this is just 1 week of price movement. We have moved approximately 7% on Dow Jones. Now, getting a correction is not out of the ordinary, where we can see correction, lower highs printing here. If we get a push down to here, maybe take out these lows and dig a bit lower, that could set up for buys. Again, I'm an intraday trader, right? So I don't really look to take sells from here down to here. Okay, that's not the type of moves I like to take. I like to take positions that are buys from here, targeting these and higher prices for TP2. So that's the type of trading I like to do. So when I look at the charts and I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, this is clearly looking to see some sort of correction. I'm not looking to sell this, but what I'm looking to do is get in on those buys because I know the sentiment on NQ and US equities is bullish. Why is it bullish? Because of resilient AI growth. We see progress on the Hormuz transit corridor, which reduces supply shock fears from oil. And again, you can click explain me if you need to. And it all gets translated the same across markets, where you see gold buying, you see US 30 buying happen, you see NASDAQ ES buying because of the exact same thing that's ongoing. Now keep in mind, all we're really looking for is for open to give us a direction. If the market spikes down into here, right, maybe pushes a little bit lower than these lows, like these lows here, pushes a bit down into here, this is still a very valid buy for me. Okay, something like this, maybe a deeper pullback down to here, this is a very valid buy. Okay, or if maybe this doesn't happen and next week we start off correcting a bit, because it looks like we're in a bit of a corrective structure right now that's printing after we rallied 7%, this is completely normal. Okay, don't get mistaken. And again, it just comes to the type of trader you are. If you're a type of trader that regardless of what direction the market is trading, you're looking to get your 20, 30 points and you do that well, perfect, keep it. That's not what I do well. What I do well is when I see a solid range towards the upside. And right now I see that range towards the upside, but I know that likely this move isn't ready to start yet. It's end of the week. We are sitting here. Even if I was looking for buys, I don't want to buy here, right? Because if I buy here, where do I want my stop loss to be? Like, do I think my stop loss is going to be here? Nah, not really, because the market could even pull back to this price zone to the left, where we had previous buyers come in, where we can also see previous buyers came in here. So I'm not really looking to buy here. I'd rather look for a buy if the market was to pull back down. I saw them inducing buyers into the market, taking out some of this liquidity from the left, from these lows. And then if we get that rejection, I'll look to align myself for those intraday buys that I can ride out over the course of the day or two to come. And sometimes that's all you need to do, is if you see a pullback, just buy it. I don't need to chase the sells here if my main goal is to ride the trend in the market here. So in certain sessions, in certain days, the market will be in a corrective phase. And in that day, I'm looking to be in more of a defensive period and a defensive phase. And I'm looking to defend my capital or the positions that I'm currently in. If I'm in buys over here and I've closed majority of them up here, and now I see the market correcting, I have a runner, I'm not really looking to short here. What I'm looking to do is either manage that runner and see how price action prints, maybe set that to stop loss to break even, and just see how the markets react from here. Okay, so now that we've gone over this, it's the same what I'm expecting across US equities. That's some sort of pullback either here or lower prices that we can mark up to our left. And again, we're not taking buys at every single one of these. These are potential areas of interest, okay? And that's what you have to keep in mind, that all of this doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's just a roadmap for us to follow, okay? Roadmap for us to follow towards the upside. If we can get this down here, maybe from retest of previous highs, these are all scenarios that can happen. And that's what market's here to provide you, is that you click this, you get the playbook, or you talk to Ask Market, you go to your history. Let me open up, prepare me for an NFP. These are all the scenarios that could take place for dollar, depending on where NFP comes out. And we're just here to best prepare you. If today taught you anything, just because gold is already so high doesn't mean it can't go higher.
That's
Exactly.
right.
It's a big thing, 100%.
Trend is always your friend.
Trend is always your friend, absolutely. And that's what we were talking about here is that going into NFP, if you align yourself with the trend here, we have this range. Doesn't mean the market's going to wait for NFP. We're just going to continue that trend. And we've been saying this once we're out of this range and gold completely bottoms out. Guys, we walked it through every point here. Even when CPI was getting faded, we said, don't worry, this is just price setups. We're going to dig deeper. As soon as we dig deeper, we should look for those buys at 39.75, 39.50s, wherever there may be. Now, this is the trend on gold. And every other time gold trends like this, there's no stopping it. There's no stopping US equities when they trend. There's no stopping gold when it trends. The point is that you just take and align yourself with the trend, but you don't rush into it. Like, it's stupid buying here when we've been buying since here. The entire week we bought the pullbacks, especially this one over here yesterday. And even if you didn't catch this, like I told you guys, I missed this move. But I ended up catching this. I caught it here, took a break even because it round tripped, and then I re-entered down here at 20, 27, 28. So that the market opportunities are plentiful. You don't have to end up chasing a trade at the end of the week just because we're at a high, right? We could just as much push up right to the tip of 43.82s over here from June's FOMC, right there, right to the tip of this. We could push up right there and start rejecting. And then you're going to be left holding the bag, right? So again, understand where the market's sitting, that this is an area, maybe we could get a corrective structure, or if not corrective structure, then maybe what we end up getting is some sort of consolidative phase that takes maybe till Monday or Sunday market open before we continue towards the upside. The point is that the market doesn't just move in one direction, right? There's always corrective periods. And you know that in order for us to get a retest back of this range, like to even head down to here, we'll need some sort of catalyst as well as technical price setups where sellers are defending this area for now. Okay, but it doesn't mean we're switching bearish. You all have to look at this as a story, understand the macro regime that powered this move, and now where we're headed. We are the first ones telling you as soon as we tapped into here, once rate hikes are priced out, price of oil comes back down, gold is going to go right back up to 4,200, 43, 44, 45, eventually 5K. So again, we're just doing the same thing we did over here where we rolled those cells down from 5,200 down to 3,900. Now we're taking the same principles. We're taking the buys and we're riding them all the way back to 4,700, 4,800, 4,900, and 5K eventually end of year or going into 2027. So that's like a fucking masterclass right there in how to interpolate macro regimes and what's happening. So this is now an area I'm watching. Again, this isn't something that can out of for sure happen. It's just things to keep in mind that structure prints like this. That right now we are in a corrective structure that if this doesn't hold, guess what? We're likely to go back down to this area to our left over here. And that's fine. And that's fine. But if this starts rejecting now and you see buyers jump in here, that's when you get that buying opportunity, and this move just continues towards the upside from like over here. So exactly what we were talking about, this zone. If this gets defended, fantastic. ES hasn't made its way there yet, but just keep an eye on Dow Jones and NQ as well.
Beautiful. Nice. Let's go, guys. Huge. Yes, NASDAQ seeing some buying pressure off the New York session open right there. You know, I was looking for a deeper pullback myself on ES to 77.49. Does seem it's holding near VWAP 77.53. So right now it's at 77.62.
Yeah. I would have really liked it down into this area, but that's fine, honestly. Like here, even Dow is quite nice over here, but I would like to, that NQ play was beautiful off of the retest here. Just ES, I would have just liked to see it here, but if NQ is moving, ES is most likely going to continue up as well. Gold, on the other hand, is again just it's just at that 50 that we were talking about. To keep in mind that I'm not looking to buy or sell gold here. Like I'm just not looking to do either. I would like to see how we set up going into next week, because we got CPI, guys. Like CPI isn't just your average report. This is what the markets care about. This is like the main meat and potatoes of the market, the fuel that really powers interest rate expectation. There's labor market data, NFP, unemployment rate, and then there's CPI. Like that's as good as it gets, and all of this impacts what the Fed does with the rates. So now CPI going to come down. Gold's going to go up, NQ going to go up, ES going to go up. It's just a matter of where the price setups happen. Now, I'm an intraday trader. So moves like these pullback buys are like chef's kiss to me, right? These moves like these gold pullback buys from down here, retest in Asian, are chef's kiss to me. What I don't like is buying end of week at the high, knowing that we're in the middle of a resistance from June. Now, this looks a bit silly when you think about buying so high. Even if, and here's the thing, you got to get into the mindset of even if price was to go higher from here, I don't care. Because this to me is a C level setup where I'm just chasing the end tail of the markets right now. And cool, we could just reject here. Now that we snap back above 50 and we could continue pushing above 75, that's fine. And we talked over that scenario, but it's just not something I'm looking to take. But by all means, you guys take it because you may have a different style of trading. You may be just pure scalper off of momentum. I'm more of a position trader where I like to position myself for moves like this or retest or intraday plays, but long higher plays like this, right? So yeah, Kevin, I just got to step off for a few minutes.
Yes,
If you
sir.
want to just take over, I'll be right back.
Absolutely. Crazy moves, man. Off the open markets are chopping up and down. I'm definitely a bit more interested in NASDAQ longs than any type of ES trade because of the momentum we're seeing on the NASDAQ. But at this point, I'd rather wait for one of my areas of interest that I have been waiting for. For the most part, I'm really looking for ES down at 77.49, like I mentioned. We'll see if that plays out. Right now, I'm staying real patient, following the trend. We know we made new highs, all that other fun stuff. So we can see if ES can pull back. NASDAQ seeing a major pullback, did support near this area. It's previous day high level over here too. So, we could keep an eye for possible longs on NQ. If we breach this high right here, possibly, but you'd want to be real careful. At this point, we're sort of chasing that off the open move. So be patient, let markets play out. Like we said, NASDAQ has a bit more relative strength than the ES. But does that mean we're just going to jump in a random trade? Absolutely not. I need to see NVIDIA move higher. You guys know my deal. Need to see NVIDIA moving higher, equities moving higher. Right now, equities are struggling a little bit. And if equities are struggling, I know NASDAQ might end up seeing a fake out. So be patient. I do want to see NASDAQ head towards these highs again. Even towards 820 would be great. Let's see. NVIDIA trying to move back higher is below VWAP at the moment. There goes Microsoft holding up. Got to see if we get some follow through on NASDAQ here. We have a minute 06 left in this 5 minute. Want to see this lower wick be created. We see 3 wicks into this 50 EMA. A lot of support. Yeah, these moves are all sort of garbage at the moment. They really are. They really are. I would not look to really take a trade aggressively right now. If you're in any trade, you're in profit, you're better off taking profit and calling it a day off that scalp. But let markets play out, let them do their thing. They are definitely very choppy at the moment. Be patient. Wait till we have a better setup. Nobody's forcing you to trade. Remember that. Nobody's forcing you to trade. NASDAQ struggling, NVIDIA struggling. Don't take it. Don't trade it. Nobody's forcing you. Bit stressful it is. Yo, listen, if you're stressed, if you're watching these charts and you're freaking out, sit back. Sit back. No stress. Stress free. If you're trading and you're stressed, that means market conditions aren't in your favor. You leave those alone. That is not your edge. Trade your edge and trade your edge only. If you're stressed when you're looking at these charts, don't even look at them then. Take a minute. Take a step back. Look at your phone for a minute. Smash the like button because it's 100. Let's hit 100 likes today. But you guys get what I'm saying. I'm up for the day, so just waiting. There we go, Luke. Listen, even if you're not up for the day, let's say you're red on the day at the moment. You're not chasing this because we see New York session just open and we're already very range bound. We're trying to find support, but then the buyers fail. We're trying to find resistance, then those sellers fail. It is a battle at the moment between buyers and sellers. NASDAQ has some support down here that we tested a couple times. This is the area I would consider buys if we can hold again. If not, we're not forcing anything. Can't stress that enough, man. If you don't have your setup, you don't have your edge, you don't take a trade, period. One thing I'll note is look how strong the hourly looks. Hourly is very strong until this current candle. So I'd rather be one that buys the dip, but I do want to be the patient trader that doesn't try to buy every dip just for it to dip a little lower on me too. But I also don't want to be selling right now knowing the data was more in our favor of the buys, right? So we have a lot of, there's the but factor. I've told you guys about the and factor where you look for multiple confirmations to take a trade. Here's your but factor where you're saying, but this, but that, but sellers are stepping in off the highs, but it's the end of the week, but it's the beginning of the month. But we had good data. So, it's definitely a mix right now. When we have that mix, we want to be patient because we know that mix is going to lead to chop. Wait till markets are showing us something more certain. Oh, we also had, guys, I want to share. I don't know if he's in here right now. Where is he? Zen Master. Yo, big shout out to Zen Master. WNFPW, Kevin, W No Lab, W Market. Killed it. Killed it, man. What a trade. Great job. Really great job. W's right there. Love to see that. There we go. NASDAQ pulling back again. I'm looking for 29,686 area. Does that mean I'm just going to grab a random long when we enter that area? Absolutely not. I do want to just be aware of that zone because it is an area that price has held before during the New York session. So, could we sweep it and then reverse? Then I might look for that trade. But right now, I was also looking for ES 7748. So let it play out. Be patient. Don't force anything. It's only been 12 minutes into the New York session. Did you know there's 6.5 hours in the New York session? So we could wait. There's no reason to force anything. No reason to rush into a trade, especially when you don't have your edge. Guys, if you have any questions, let me know. And I also want to know, are you bullish or bearish today? I'm going to throw a poll up on the chat. 1 for bullish, 2 for bearish, 3 for ranging. Let me know in the comments. Are you bullish, bearish, or ranging? You could even do this on, if you're here on X, guys, you could comment 1, 2, or 3, and it will register. So let me know if you're bullish or bearish today. What's up, Ryder? My biggest fan over here. Look at this. See, this is why we're not selling low over here, because we know buyers stepped in a few times, but we also don't want to buy over here because we see sellers were stepping in off these levels. Waiting to decide. Smart man. There you go. Smart man. Listen, I'm still bullish. I'm just waiting for a better entry. I'm waiting for confirmation, right? We want confirmation. We want confluence. If this 15-minute that we're on right now, which has a minute 20 left, starts pushing higher and closes higher, then guess what? Instead of waiting for this area, I'm going to look for the retest of this area, right? But either way, I'm more bullish because of the economic data, because we're above previous day high. We're green on the day. We're close to all-time highs on the S&P 500. Higher time frame wise, we do have a stronger bias. So just remember that. Okay, 54 seconds left, and it does look like we're trying to close higher. We'll possibly be looking for a retest entry on that. Be patient, though. Let markets come to us. Wait for a better entry. This would be higher highs, higher lows, off VWAP, off the 50, 15-minute support zone forming. Just really be patient here. Really be patient. We'll be back in a moment, guys. Don't forget, smash that like button. We're at 85 right now. Let's go hit 100. You guys are amazing. All community, all team effort here. I like these buyers. Hopefully a strong support above this 77.65. We'll see a little bit of a jolt to the upside. We could also take a look at the Dow. I know some people here trade the Dow, which is US 30 or YM. Dow's trying to hold up, which is helping support ES as well. So is NASDAQ, right? So when we have the Dow and NASDAQ moving in favor, that's going to help support the ES. Very strong move. Again, I'm not forcing any shorts. I'm more bullish right now. That 15 did give us a more bullish close, so I'd still be looking for continuation. Our area of resistance, we do have this one right here, but we actually have one right above us that's got a bit more significance because it was created more recently. So that would be a good upside reactionary zone. So let's see if we can pull back towards that 77.61. We're already back to 77.64. 77.64 was a resistance, so just be careful with that. Okay, let's see. Could try to hold here, but be patient. I want to see how we react, right? Wait for the reaction. Wait for the reaction. Here we go. Coming back to that level we were looking at, 77.61. 15-minute trying to hold. 5-minute trying to hold. Still very range bound. If we're looking at that general price action, it has been choppy. Look at that pullback, man. That's crazy. Be patient. Don't just jump into anything at random. We never want to be that trader that just triggers along just because we want to have backing behind it, the whole and factor. Look at the NASDAQ. Bam! Imagine going along at highs. This is why we don't buy those highs, guys. Good patience there. Good job. Great job. Let this play out. Let this play out. See how we react, right? I'm looking for buys off of this zone. Buyers step in with strength. Great. Right now, Meta's moving higher. Microsoft's moving higher. Apple's struggling but trying to move higher. Nvidia is struggling at this point. Yes, trying to hold. This is the zone area I was looking for. We have 3 minutes left in the 5-minute. I do want to give it just a moment here. See how and if we react. Getting some headlines there. Be careful. Headlines can always shift markets. We know that. Take a look and see if it's anything relevant. Hasset employment falls. Key economic focus. Hasset jobs rose 100K, excluding government working. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Be patient. I'm waiting for a reaction off this zone. Looking to enter light size ES. Trying to trade it back to the upside off that 15 hold. But be patient. We have overall momentum to the upside off that NFP, but we've seen range ever since 925 into the New York session open. So if we don't get the reaction off this zone, original trade setup that I was looking for, which is down over here at 77.49, is still on the table. That's why it's important to prepare too, guys. Yeah, we're getting barcodes in this price action. Barcode and price action, man. There we go. Getting a reaction off this zone. Can look to enter light. Just be careful and, keep your stop loss relatively close too, because it'd be one of those things where we take the stop, look for re-entry somewhere lower, right? We want that better entry price to the downside if we're going long, better entry price to the upside if we're going short. These buyers keep failing off this level. I'd be very careful. Minute 30 left in this 5-minute. I do like the way NASDAQ's trying to hold. Nvidia also pushed green. So did Amazon. Apple's struggling. Microsoft's pushing higher. Meta's trying to push higher. Google did just make new low of day, but trying to wick around. If we can get a majority of our equities back to the buy side, that's really going to help support a stronger S&P 500 to have this buy position, this 4-to-1 we're looking at, continue and hit. So I'm entered in it. I'm pretty light in size because I'm not a fan of the current price action. It could go right to stop loss here, quite honestly. That's how this market's looking. Yeah, look at that. It's weird. It's lower. All right, let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. Probably the original, seeing that we're barcoding, probably the original setup is the one with a bit more favor. Just be a bit patient. 44 seconds left. This could still hold. We haven't really broken out of that zone yet, and the 15 was still more bullish. So be patient. Let it play out. Look at that. It is trying to hold. I'm just not a fan of just jump in, re-enter, jump in, re-enter. If we close above this zone, give me a bit more confidence. If we don't, then yeah, no thank you. NASDAQ still struggling too. Very range bound here. What up, what up? Nil is back. Yes, sir.
I've
Good,
been in the
sir.
waiting room for a while, man.
You've been waiting for a while?
Thought you didn't want me back on.
Oh,
There's a-
bro, of course I wanted you back on. This price action's awful.
Yeah, remember we said the double top to watch out for it,
Yup.
right? To watch out because we're at such a key area. So we didn't want to take buys going into this push up here. That instead we wanted to keep an eye out and be more defensive on gold. I also mentioned that I'm not looking to take the sells, nor am I looking to take the buys right now, because we've had such beautiful plays towards the upside all of this week. So at the end of the week, I don't want the crumbs that are left on the table. Let the peasants have those. Let the greedy traders take that on the greedy retail crowd get caught up in that. I'm good on this range. I don't like how we had mixed data. We had unemployment rate weighing on the other side, NFP with bad jobs data, good unemployment. Man, I'm not a fan of that. Every time I've tried
Yeah.
to take a trade during times like this, I end up burning myself, or it's just extra stress and constantly monitoring a position on Friday, and I don't want to do that. So
Nah.
my entire mindset is I don't care if gold goes up, I don't care if gold retraces. I know we have CPI next week. I'm gonna catch a banger trade, intraday trade, and honestly, all I need is one intraday trade a week. Like something like this is enough once a week, dude. Look at the risk reward here. It's 1 to 5. Yeah, I had a 120 pip stop loss, 130 pip stop loss on gold on these buys, and almost a 700 pip take profit. That's all you really need to make money is one clean move, whether that's on NQ, your clean moves like taking the buys on Monday market open, or on Asian session as well. These buys on the retest of this range. Look how beautiful these plays are, guys. Like you can take advantage of these massive plays if you're aligned on the macro side. You can even open up the extension, go to bias, select NQ, and know that we've been bullish the entire week on NQ, right? We've been bullish since FOMC. Literally since FOMC, we bottomed out and market switched to a bullish continuation as well. So moves like this, or moves on these intraday where markets position themselves for the intraday plays, rather than taking shitty buys up here to ride to the highs up here. I want to take the buys from down here that I could ride into new all-time new highs on gold. So it's the same principle going into like the next week, is when you do get these sort of intraday pullbacks, which happen day in, day out, right? This isn't out of the ordinary. Look, we get a sell-off, wow, move gets corrected. Look at that, the entire move got corrected. We get a sell-off, 70% of the move got corrected again, and then we get a completion of that range. So now the best thing about this price action is it's clean. We have clean direction, and we know it's not going to stop because the markets are focusing on pricing out rate hikes, pricing in the peace deal, pricing in eventually rate cuts to come. And that's all bullish for gold. So we know the machine that's powering the financial markets is currently bullish for gold, is bullish for equities, bullish for Bitcoin, bearish for dollar. So that's what our main regime focus is right now, right? So anything on gold is a buy. I'm not looking to short. All I'm looking to do is position myself for these intraday plays that we know happen day in, day out. So market's correct. We're at a very key resistance on the left here from FOMC in June 17th of almost 2 months ago is the last time we were at this price point, right? About 7 weeks ago. Now we're back here, completely pricing out the rate hikes and the hawkishness from here that Warsh was talking about. Now that's being priced out. Markets are pricing in cuts for 2027, and we're rallying based on that. Same thing that happened in 2022, where the market bottomed out before the Fed was even cutting. And it's the same thing here too. Gold bottomed out before the Fed is even cutting, and we're pricing that in real time. So that's what we have to keep in mind. And moves like this, just moves on a Friday that are just kind of ranging, are so minuscule. Like look at this small. This is where we currently are. This is NFP move, okay? Now let me, like that's NFP move, okay? Now if I go to gold here, do you even see it? Do you even see it on the 1 hour chart of what just happened in the market in the past hour and a half? You don't, because it's so minuscule compared to the grand scheme of things, compared to the moves that actually take place and how we actually position ourselves in the market. So this is just the smallest thing. I don't care if we push up, I don't care if we push down. The point is that we are just aligned correctly. We are entering at the more optimal areas, and we're not getting caught up in the nitty gritty little ranges that play out like this, and we're not burning or exhausting ourselves. Is that when the opportunity presents itself, we attack like a lion and not like a hyena. You know, hyenas are chasing the scraps. Vultures are also just chasing, they're pure scavengers, chasing the most shittiest things that the lion has left, the rotting meat. I don't want the rotting meat, man. I want the prime. I want the Wagyu, the A5, right? You know what I mean? Like that's what we want, the good stuff. And moves like this, good stuff. Playing the ranges here, man, like taking buys here only to see majority of this 1 minute price action get corrective, just consolidate. it's just extra
Yeah.
stress, dude. I don't want to be in this. This is just like it could go up, it could go down. Oh well, it could literally go past these highs up to the top of this range at 43.82. That's the FOMC price and reject it. Like that could literally happen. And what are you gonna do? You're just gonna get caught up on both sides,
Yeah.
stress yourself out. It's a Friday. Go out,
Right.
hang out with your kids, hang out with your girlfriend. You know, I got date night later. I'm gonna hang.
There you go.
You know,
Where we
that's
going, bro?
uh, I gotta find that out. Oh shit! Actually, it's tomorrow. This is how
Oh,
tired I am. It's tomorrow. But today we're locked in. Today we're locked in, and let's focus on being in a defensive state rather than offensive because we have been offensive all week long. Attack, 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 and sometimes you look back. Now it's time to just chill,
yep.
take this as a learning session. This is what I meant for NQ as well, is pullbacks to like some of these better prices, even on ES, right? That's why I was saying a pullback into this. I don't like this price action at open. I would like to see it actually come to a zone where I can visibly see there has been price sensitivity, where markets were getting participants were getting into orders here and it caused this play towards the upside. Now, if we get a retest of this and we start to get markets rejecting this, now it looks like an area for us to buy. But I must also keep in mind, end of the week, we could most likely also see deeper profit taking where the markets go a bit deeper into these key levels. So these are all possible roadmap scenarios that we should follow and align ourselves. Somebody says, surely market launcher launches a trader dating app next. Get those life fundamentals right. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, you would have to like. I think one of the criterias would need to be like, man, like probably your P&L would need to
Yeah.
be like up there, like like verified links. Um, that needs. That's the only thing that needs to be in a bio. You know.
Yep. Yep. That's great.
Traveling to the Cook Island next week. Nice. I hope you enjoy your trip. It's gonna be a fun time. Take some time off the markets. Enjoy life outside of the charts. So
There you
you know
go.
what? Like this is something I actually like struggle with is when I go away. Like I was at my cousin's wedding and I was there for 3 days, guys, in London. I was there for 3 days. My family was going to Croatia. I came back and like, dude, I struggle with not being able to work. Like when I'm not working, I feel so like it's just so boring. Like I was at the wedding. I love my cousin. I told my cousin this too. I'm like, bro, I hate weddings, man. Like I absolutely cannot stand weddings. Like it is, and I got my friend's wedding this month. I got two weddings this month, another one next month. Man, I just want to be working. I just want to be behind the screen on live with Kevin, analyzing the markets, showing you what's possible, how we can work out theories in our minds. And even this, like this double top, we were just talking
Yep.
about this double top. Before, like over here, we said potential sell off. Then before, when we came here, I said even if we double top, it's still there's no buying opportunity here right now. So yeah, man, sometimes I enjoy trading more than I enjoy real life now. Wow, man, we gotta fix that, buddy. Real
Yeah.
life, real life's fun,
That's great. That's great.
Um,
Guys, these markets, man, what a barcode. Really ain't giving us anything.
yeah.
Did gold pull back? I'm looking for gold to pull back on GC at least to 43.80. Slow and steady wins the race today, I suppose. Guys, we're at 90 likes. You guys are absolute legends. Run that up. Let's hit 100 today. Great job, everybody. Almost 400 of you in here. Love you. Show some love. Smash that like. Drop a comment. Have you taken any trades? Are you green on the week with us? And absolutely killing it this week. We had nil on like 3 times this week. Killer.
We're live, man. We're live.
Yes, sir.
Live. We're live. Yeah. So, guys, that's it. Like for me, I gotta hop off. I got a meeting I gotta be in right now. So thank you, Kevin. Appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
bro. And
Absolutely.
we'll see you Monday and CPI week.
Let's
We'll
go.
be we'll be here. We'll be here prepping you. Like last CPI, man, fantastic, fantastic plays. Remember we walked you through the exact release. We talked about inflation coming down. The surprise that inflation came down. Forecast was 3.8. Minimum was 3.6. Actual came out 3.5. Solid surprise to the market. And now we're going to walk through it again live, digest the data, trade it, show you how easy it is to understand financial markets and where the market can go right after the data release once the sentiment has been digested. So
Yep.
appreciate you
Awesome.
guys. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for all the support and love on Ask Market. If you haven't used it yet, please go for it. Try it out. Everybody has 50 chats. We're just looking to see how we can make it unlimited. We're working on things. This is over the weekend. You're going to see a lot of this change. It's going to be a lot more personalization. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all our lovely supporters, people who give us feedback. If you have any feedback to give, please just. Oh, I kind of want to show you guys something actually. Look how cool this is. If you have any feedback to give, please just open up our chat. Let my team know. But so here, can you see my screen, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
So this is my whole desktop here, right? I have my. You can open up this chat over here. Let my team know. Or look at this. Look how cool this is. We're creating a desktop app. Whoa, you can see what happened. Did something happen? What was there a catalyst? Market, news. Look at that. Look how it could be anywhere. If you're on doing your work for your job, you could just have market open here and it's constantly reading out news to you. So we got tons coming, guys. That's what I want to show you. It's like we're cooking. We're always
Legend.
cooking in the lab. Look at this cool widget that you can put anywhere. I don't care if I'm on TradingView, any browser, I can have this open and just kind of use it anywhere on my desktop. So lots of cool stuff coming. Let me tell you that.
Legendary, bro.
All right.
Legendary.
See you guys soon. See you guys soon.
See you soon, man. Thank you for being here.
Of course, man. Thank you, Kevin. Bye bye.
Absolutely. Guys, we'll keep the stream running. We'll see if we get some type of support. We've been waiting, man. We've been waiting in this chop. Mel on MRKT for Asia session. Yeah, let's get that started. Let's do that. That's awesome. That'd be fun. Guys, we're waiting, man. These markets are choppy. They're not giving us much. You try to buy the dip, it dips further. You try to sell off, and it pulls back. You want to leave these markets alone right now. They are not in favor of either condition. Nasdaq with more weakness. ES trying to hold. Very 50-50. Leave these alone. Waiting for our own zones. The Dow also. Look at the Dow right here trying to rally. Nasdaq trying to sell off. We take a look at our equities here. They're back to 50-50 again. Google just made another new low a day. Nvidia's range bound trying to hold VWAP. Microsoft was selling off but now pulling back. 50-50 on our equities, 50-50 on our markets. Absolutely. Stay patient, guys. What is the current trend? So current trend is still overall bullish, right? We zoom out, we see overall we did just make out some new highs. As long as we hold these recent higher lows, we are still looking for possible longs. It's really a matter of being patient. It's ES yet to close outside of the orb. So if you use the opening range breakout strategy, you're going to use the 15-minute time frame high and low. So let's mark that out for you. Orb high, orb low. We have technically already had a double break where we wick one side, we wick the other side. I wanted to see support to the downside over here. Looks like we're going to try to be getting towards that area right now. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. We know that when we've been trying to break lower, buyers step in. When we've been trying to break higher, sellers step in. So I want to see us try to break lower and then see us reverse on those sellers. Let's see, NASDAQ a similar zone down there? Not necessarily. Yeah, not really. It's got this area that it held before, but not the strongest of spots. So really just a matter of being patient. We do want to trade with the trend. We don't want to trade against it. Right now, sellers have control, right? Sellers currently have control, but we're looking at the bigger picture, which is still a bit more bullish. We did have mixed news, so we know that that's more of a 50-50 market as well. See if any new headlines. U.S. stocks gain as surprise payrolls fall. NQ closed outside the orb. Yup, nice, nice. Yes, so ES is about to close outside the orb too right here. Look at that huge move to the downside off the S&P 500. Time is it? It is 10:05. 15-minute has 10 minutes left. So I want to see a quick jolt lower into the zone. Buyers step in and bring us up. Kevin Mao, catch you. Enjoy your week. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend as well. Happy trades and good job, everybody. Everybody did fantastic. Even if you didn't take any trades today, that's a great trading day because you did not get caught up in this chop. Yeah, we'll speak soon. Oh, you spoke too soon. Now we'll see. We'll see. Again, every time somebody tries to sell a low, what happens? We're pulling back and then we push lower again. So I want to see us push lower and then reverse on those sellers. So strong push into like the 49 area. VIX has been trying to move lower as well, but really consolidated on the volatility index today. ES looks like it really wants to try to dive towards these lows right now. Be patient. Nvidia is trying to sell off and then it finds buying. Like these markets are very 50-50. We want to be so patient in these market conditions. Even look at this. Here we go. Gold pulling back to this demand zone, 43.80. If you're looking at XAU USD, it's going to be that same spot, 43.20. So it's what I'm looking for possible gold longs. Hopefully that gives us something, We just wait, have different markets, have different trade setups, different opportunities, and wait for one of them to occur. Don't trade the middle of it or you're going to get chopped up left and right. Just a big old no-no zone. Exactly. No trades for me. Good job, Christina. There we go. That's what I like to hear. Listen, I like to hear wins as much as I like to hear no trades for me because of proper discipline. That's great. That is absolutely killer. A lot of people think, oh no, I didn't take a trade today. I don't know what I'm doing. No, that's great. If you recognize market conditions aren't in your favor, you don't trade them. Period. Even like Nasdaq up here, I'd almost want to short it off of this resistance, but because we have support below us, resistance above us, rocking a hard place, no zone. I'm done. I caught the gold move. Enough for the day. Good job. Good job. Look at that. Gold still pulling back. 43.80 on GC, 43.20 on XAU. That's what I'm looking for. Sells look like they're trying to pick up steam here on NASDAQ, but what happens when they look like that? Buyers step in. What happens when buyers look like they're taking control? Sellers step in. Wait for your zone. That's when the fake out will truly occur. Nvidia trying to hold, Google trying to hold, Microsoft moving lower, Amazon moving lower. Like we have that different read on different markets right now. We really need those markets to be trending together. Didn't take any trades this week. I expected some traps either. Okay, good job. Nailed it. A win is a win. Yup. You got it. Weighted index looking like it's ready to rip lower as well. Good job, guys. Be patient. Waiting for this ES area down here. Made 45. Tell that to Mel. That's funny. You guys are great. Look at this. See that? Boom. It looks like, oh, sellers are stepping in, and then buyers bring it up. Looks like buyers are stepping in, and then watch sellers bring it down. Leave this market alone. If you're green on the week, you don't want to give back your profit ever. You want to close that week out strong. You don't want to have a great green Monday, green Tuesday, green Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday wipes out all of your gains. Be patient. Trade the markets how you know to trade them, and take your setups only. If you see it's a no zone, which is a no trade zone, you just don't trade it. As simple as it sounds, it's very difficult to do, right? It's very easy to sit here and click buy, sell, buy, sell. Literally, it's a button and you're in a trade. So it's our psychology, it's our discipline that tells us to not enter, to not take that trade. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Guys, we're still at 90 likes, man. Run that up to 100. Come on now. Show some love. Nil was great. I was great. We're all doing great. You guys are awesome. W community right here. We go live Monday through Friday for these streams. Here we go. Seeing some selling pressure. See if ES finally wants it to make its way to 77.49. 77.49. Good stuff, guys. Let's go. Look at this. Huge. Again, it's not an area where I'd buy, not an area where I'd sell. It's an area where I'd say sit on your hands and let markets come to us. Half a second here. All right, cool. Nice, guys. Guys, great stream today. Great NFP cover. That was a nice bull move, and then unfortunately, a lot of chop afterwards. SpaceX share 5%. Cool, cool. Yo, I got you, bro. Have a great weekend. Elsa, have a great weekend. See you soon. See you Monday. Appreciate you guys for always joining, showing some love here in the community, in market in the morning. We love doing these live streams for you guys. We'll keep it going for another 10 minutes or so. See if any market conditions do want to show themselves. There were a lot of passive buyers sitting at the 77.50 spot down here, so we can possibly pull back from there. Again, this is, in my opinion, really a no trade zone. This is a no trade zone. There's no proper setup. There's no proper confirmation. We know the headlines were a bit more bullish from the economic data, but we also know it was mixed data as well, which unfortunately is giving us a bit more of a range. NASDAQ trying to move lower, ES trying to move lower. Wanted to see a reaction off of 77.49 towards 77.45. Right? If we've been range bound the whole day, hopefully we get that reversal. Now you could either take the reversal once we start to hold this zone and you take the long somewhere over here, or you wait for us to close back inside the opening range breakout if you use the orb, and you can look to trade it back to the upside like that. But we're moving into the zone now. Let's see how we react. If we break through it, no problem, then we're probably in for an even bigger move to the downside and might head from 77.45 to 77.24. Look at that. We're breaking through it. No problem now. Getting a lot of selling pressure. Be patient. Again, that's a great example of why we don't just enter a random trade. You would have entered this right here, guys, and in the same minute that you entered it, it would have stopped you out. Like, that is not how we want to trade. Even NASDAQ showing significant weakness right here. Very strong moves. Be patient. Thank you, Kevin. Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate that, Charles. You're a GOAT. Legendary. Still waiting for my $100 entry on SPX. I know, bro. Me too. Me, you, and everybody else. So now at this point, it might not happen. Let's see, guys. It is 11. It's 10:12 right now. 10:12. I would not sell those. If anything, we had those sellers had control for a little bit here. Just wait. Yo, you got it, Piyush. My pleasure. Happy. Always happy to do so. Been moving lower. Gold. All right, gold's still chopping around. Still waiting for 43.80 on GC. Can't lose my profit to Friday. You got it, Davey. Secure that profit. Hold it green. Next week's a new week. We come back and we absolutely kill it again and again. Got to create that routine, man. That's beautiful. Good job. Good work, everybody. Good discipline. Good discipline. That's what we try to instill here. Proper fundamental understanding, how to use MRKT in your trading, how to use the headlines and economic data, and of course, good discipline and good mindset for your trading journey. Look at this. We hit the open price. Oh, actually, that was probably yesterday's open. I don't remember updating that. Yeah, it's yesterday's opening price on NASDAQ. Current open price. We are still technically above the open price on NQ, which, believe it or not, guys, does still keep us on a green day today as much as we are selling off at the moment. But every time buyers try to step in, what happens? They fail. Don't fall for it. Wait till we could actually reverse and see a reversal. Then we could look for those longs to hold. But right now, New York session-wise at least, sellers have control. So be patient there. No trade zone, or you're looking for those sellers to continue. But me personally, I'd rather be a bit patient or even not take any trades and wait for tomorrow. It does look like sellers still have, like I said, control and a bit of an upper hand against buyers. I think NASDAQ could possibly head towards 29,150, but we'll see. Just be patient. Don't force anything. If you have a trade setup that I'm not mentioning because you're trading a different strategy, then take advantage of it. I can't stress that enough, guys. I'm not going to trade the same strategy as you. The next guy is not going to trade the same. Unless I'm teaching you hands-on and you're learning my strategy, you might have a different system. You might have a different entry criteria. Even if I am teaching you, when I'm teaching people, listen, different people are going to have different setups, different strategies, really different strategies and confirmations. What matters when you're learning to trade is that you're building routine and you're building structure and follow through, and you're following through on it. You're not just jumping in. Sometimes I trade the orb, sometimes I trade support and resistance, sometimes I trade VWAP. No, it has to be consistent across the board. That is how you create your edge. So Really good there. Good patience today. Very range bound markets. I'm not leaving until we hit 100 likes. We're about 5 likes away. Come on, guys. Help me out here. Let's go hit 100. We'll wrap up the stream. These markets are very choppy right now. Every time you try to sell a low, what would happen? You'd get pulled back. But selling those highs does tend to work a little bit. I'm just not a fan of selling those highs. Gold trying to hold this broken 30-minute supply area. This was from probably quite some time ago. See if we could find that. Yo, see you soon, Haley. Be well. Have a great weekend. Wow, it's from all the way back. All the way back. Oh, I'm on the 5 minutes still. I meant to go on the 30. I'm not doing that again. Really want to see gold 43.80. ES is holding off of that zone, but it's like, nah, we're not. If you're taking a trade at this point, you might as well flip a coin. Nothing's really in favor for buyers or sellers. Sellers were stepping in with strength. Buyers stepped in every time we made a new low. Sellers stepped in once we tried to move higher. It's too flip-floppy. Right now we have 3 minutes left in this current 5-minute candle. Guess what it can do? It could drop. It could pop. It could do whatever it wants at this point. Gold with some momentum. I would not be jumping in random longs on gold. Is there some kind of money return for the number of... No, we don't do it for the money return. I like to do it just to be consistent, and I think I'm pretty sure YouTube helps push the algorithm out more. Goal is to get more of you guys in here, right? Build a bigger stream. Get some, maybe even we get some sponsors on here too, right? How cool would that be? Would love to do that. But yeah, no, just keep it stream, keep it live for you guys, keep it free for you guys. No money for likes. That'd be cool though. That'd be cool. No, I'm pretty sure because you guys don't even get, when you're watching these streams, you guys don't even get ads. We don't even run ads. We're not monetizing these live streams at all, guys. But hey, you know what, John? Since you said that, now I'm going to, and you guys could thank John for that. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. Wouldn't do that to you guys. Gold is holding. Held very well off that broken zone. That's a pretty cool indicator, man. I was messing around with it, but it's since I've been using it, it's been pretty interesting with the levels it's given. Agree, gold will pull a lot. Yeah, gold's going to pull left and right. It wicked this zone a couple times, which a lot of times one of my entry confirmations is pushing into it, closing back outside of it, pushing into it, closing back outside of it. Entry would be on that second or third closing into it, and then opening back and closing back inside of it. But I'd just really be patient at this point. Dollar's moving lower, which does support gold to the upside. Isn't gold pretty much a gamble now? It feels like, yeah, exactly. It's, you know what it is? It's a gamble. It's got momentum. Oh, look at this momentum on gold here, man. Huge. But yeah, we're very extended at this point. We don't want to be sellers. We don't want to be buyers. We don't want to be sellers because we know buyers have control, but we don't want to be sellers because we don't want to be buyers, I should say, because we're already very elevated. So it's really about gauging your risk, gauging your reward, and gauging which markets work best for you. Got you, bro. I got you. Absolutely. Let's see what else we got. ES, yeah, I know. ES, look at that. Right off, right? It went from 45, 16 points in a matter of 5 minutes. Again, one of the main reasons that if you tried to buy every pullback over here, you would have been stopped out 80 times. Then this one is finally the one that worked. How would we know that? How would you know that until it actually plays out? Are you going to really take 40 different paper cuts and then take 41 for the winner? Probably not our best bet. Is there a video on how to market and how to use it for entries and exits? So MRKT isn't necessarily like an entry and exit signal. It's more of giving an informative, right? So it helps you make more informative decisions in trading versus people that sort of just gamble when they trade, where it breaks down headlines when they come out. It breaks down the economic data the second it comes out too. It gives you your bias, gives you what's supporting the bias and what could flip the bias. It does give you support and resistance and pullback levels. There is that, but it's not necessarily for giving like, oh, here's your perfect entry and your take profit. That's where your own due diligence comes in, right? When you want to become a trader, when people learn how to trade, they're not learning how to trade so they could take somebody's signals and call it a day. They learn to trade so that they could be independent, not have that boss. Be independent means independent freedom of time, independent, not listening to a boss. But guess what? If you want to become a trader, you have to treat trading like a business, not a hobby. You have to be your own boss. You have to set rules. You have to have a system. Everything else in between. So there's that. Just a little bit of advice, something to keep in mind. Market is here to help gauge you, help give you confidence in the right bias, but it is not a buy and sell signal. That is not, again, not why we want to become traders anyways. All right, let's see. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. We did it. 100 likes. You guys are absolute legends. Teamwork, man. We bring the good quality information. You guys bring the likes and engagement, and we get the ball rolling. And I got ES long at 77.45. Look at this guy bottom ticking the ES over here. Luke. Bro, Luke, I gotta ask, what gave you that price level? What gave you that confidence to take those longs on ES down there? Gotta get Luke on the stream, man. That's awesome, man. Luke the legend. He's luking the market, like nuking the market. Hold up, where's the audio? Thank you. I know, it was really funny. They gotta add like a I need that sound effect constantly playing in my life, to be honest. Support on the lower time frame was a risk, but very tight stop. Good job, man. Good job. Right off that level we were looking for. Fantastic. I wonder. Yup. Wow, that's a crazy. Yo, this is where that indicator marked it too, man. That is absolutely wild. I gotta start. I gotta start using that indicator myself. That's very clean. Cool, man. Awesome. That'll be out to you guys eventually. I'll get that out for you guys soon if you guys want it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 10:23. Luke, great trade. HCL community, thank you for being here. Market in the morning community, you guys are absolute legends. I appreciate the community we're creating here. I appreciate you all for joining. Join our free Discord community. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of that. Where are we? All right. Quick invite right here. This is our free market community. You join it. Join the Discord community. Link is going to be in the comments right now. Thank you, Mel. Absolutely. It is our pleasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your community. Always appreciate the extra support. Guys, take care. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Don't be glued to the charts. Take some time, touch some grass, go spend time with people, enjoy yourself, and have a great weekend. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all back here on Monday. Later. Peace.